Okay. As zij is Meisheke a Reus von Hirschels Cheder noch van Sof Funsman und bis man wird dokajen voor ihm an andere Reben mit andere Chaverimlich hat Kiva allein genommen lernen mit ihm Ivra. So in this way, Moshe left Herschel's Cheder before the end of the term. And until they managed to find another Rebbe with difficulty, with other little friends, Kiva himself undertook to teach him Ivra. Moshe had frei opgeotemt. So Moshe breathed more freely. Jetzt hat weniger gelernt und mehr gewusst. Now he learned less, but he knew more. Zwischen einmal lernen und dem zweiten hat sich mit ihm keiner nicht gechappet und keiner hat ihm nicht getitelt mit Fingerlich. So between the one lesson and the next one, no one bothered him and no one pointed fingers at him. Hat sich allein gespielt, gerät zu sich allein, zu stehen und zu bein. So he had no one to speak to and play with. So he spoke to himself completely on his own. Zu stehen und zu bein is a phrase I believe which means completely on his own. Und stehen und bein von seiner Seite haben ihm geantwortet auf Stummloschen. And completely on his own, from their side, that's his non-existent Chaverimlech, they answered him in silence. Okay, we need to...
I have a question to you.
Yeah.
Zu stehen und zu bein, I understand the expression, but there's also und stehen und bein. I think the intention is that the concrete, stone and bone, that nothing. I mean, it's like the wall. He was talking to the stehen und bein is more like he spoke to the wall, and the wall didn't answer him. Is that it? Am I right?
Yeah, I think that's...
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, why don't you go on?
Ja, die Talmidimlich von Hirschels Cheder seien gewesene Chaverimlich und sie, der sehen ihm, wären sie stumm. So the students in Hirschels Cheder, his former colleagues, when they saw him, they became silent. Zij wissen, als Mesheke is ietster a sach gefährlicher wie früher. So they know that he is much more dangerous now than earlier. Vor dem Rebbens Lokschen hat itzt kein mehr nicht. He has no fear now of the Rebbe's lokshen of his cat of nine tails, of his whip. Und als der Mamser wird erzint, emetsen, unbrechen die Beine, wird kein Hon nicht crying. And now if the Mamser broke somebody's bones, figuratively, if he beat somebody, no
Rooster. will
rooster,
crow.
no rooster would crow. No one would say a word. Schweigen sie und machen sich weg. So they keep quiet and they keep away from him. Nur die eigentlich brennen bei sie mit Verachtung. But their eyes still burn with scorn towards Mesheke. Fühlt Mesheke die dosige Verachtung von der Weitens und guckt sie noch wie ein beißiger Hintel von sein Konura. Das heißt, von Kives Ganek, wo spielt sich einer allein. So when Mesheke felt this scorn from the distance, and he looks at them from the distance, like a biting dog from its lair, which means from Kiva's porch, where he plays alone by himself. Weiß da viele, was sie reden von ihm in der Still, and he even knows what they are saying about him quietly. Sie schuschken sich, als Hirschel der Melamed hat ihm herausgetrieben, weil ist ein Ganef und ein Mamser. Bei Schochen hat gegangen mit einem silbernen Leichterl und kein Tate und Mama hat euch nicht, nur a Mama und a Vater. And they whisper that Herschel the Melamed expelled him, got rid of him, because he's a thief and he's a mamzer. He stole a silver candlestick from a neighbor, and he has no mother and father. He also has no mother and father, but he has an uncle, an auntie, and an uncle. Auf Malevos es soll nicht sein, es soll sich nicht treffen, hat sich Mesheke bewappnet mit einem kurzen Stück von einem abgenutzter Lopeta und gewarnt von der Weitens alle Talmidimlich von Herschels Cheder. So just to be safe, and so that they shouldn't harm him, Mesheke armed himself with a short stick from a broken spatula, and he warned them from the distance. He warned the students from the distance, the students of Herschel's Cheder from the distance. Wart, ich will euch geben, Mamser. You wait, I'll still get you if you call me a Mamser.
Last time we talked a little bit about this word mem aleph lamed ayin, and I didn't catch what was said. It's not mela, of course.
No.
No.
So it's I thought it meant like, you know, like it's who cares or something. That's what but I don't see how it fits in here. And you translated it and just.
Just to be safe.
So mala means to be just.
I think that Mila is a connecting word. And I don't think that it has any significance other than what it's connecting to.
Okay, I think Malevos, regardless of, where is it? I lost it.
It says, of mala voses soll sich nicht treffen. It's just at the beginning of that.
All
Right.
of us, okay, Malevos soll sich
Mala,
nicht treffen,
not Mila.
regardless of what could happen,
Yes.
regardless
Yeah.
of what might happen.
This is not Mila, this is Mala.
No, it's not mala.
Male, yo,
Mala.
male. I think my parents were saying mile. That's a difference of
That's a
dialect.
different word.
A different word. Okay.
This means
I'm not saying
regardless.
mele, but okay, male. Okay, let it be. But what it means is regardless of what might happen.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Because
So it's
regardless
regardless.
of what might happen, he is equipping himself with with defense.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So mala has the meaning of regardless.
Yeah,
Regardless of what
regardless.
happens. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this context, but you have to
Yeah, in
take
this
context
right.
into account. Okay.
Where were you?
No, it was right after Vart. Ich will.
Ja, wat ich will euch geben, Mamser.
Okay. Why don't you read a little more?
Okay. Der Sinn dem abgesmoljeten Stück Flocken haben sich die Engler noch mehr gehit zu begegnen sich mit einem kleinen Masik. So when they saw this singed stick, the singed piece of pole, the little boys were more careful not to meet the little scamp, a mazik. Nor einhitten sich in Ganzen haben sie nicht gekonnt, but to einhitten.
To completely hide from him, to completely avoid him.
To completely avoid him, they couldn't do this completely. In zeire kleimest arupgelosene eigenlich lehnt Moisheke das, was sie trachten von ihm. In their lowered eyes, little eyes, Moisheke read what they were thinking about him. Und chaptera ingele asa, was geht einer allein zwischen beide Gannikes in Eck Zavulek, klappt ihm an und läuft rein in Stub. And if Mosheke found one of these little boys alone between the two porches at the edge of the Zavulek, he would give him a clap and then run back into the house. Masseren helft azind nicht. To tattletale on him doesn't help anything at all. Hirschels Lokschen haben schon mehr kein Schlitter nicht über Moisheken. Hirschel's whip no longer has any control over Moisheke. Und Sterer stellt sich noch vor ihm ein. And Sterer still says to him, she
defends him.
She defends him, yes. She defends him. Cheppe ihm nicht. Wird dir euch nicht cheppen. Don't bother him and he won't bother you. Ruft mich Mamser, massert Moisheke unter den Nose. So Moisheke denounced them by saying under his breath, they called me a Mamser. Wie bei alle verbitterte Kinder geht bei ihm über das Gefühl in a mammesticker Sach. So from these verbitterte Kinder, these bitter
Yeah.
Children, he gets the feeling that it's of a continuing matter. Zwischen Trachten und Sorgen ist bei ihm kein Unterschied nicht. The difference between thinking and saying something, there's no difference to him.
I don't understand what he's saying in that paragraph. Like he's saying, Moisheke is the embittered child. As with all embittered children, he has the feeling that this is a continuous event or occurrence, and between thinking and saying, there's no difference. I don't understand what he's bringing out in that last.
Yeah,
sentence.
Nechama, I too don't understand. And maybe
Maybe somebody else has
Yankel,
an-
maybe you can explain to us
I couldn't understand what Schiller was writing.
again. Maybe
I think
I
that-
didn't follow it, and I still don't understand. Maybe
I think that he thinks whether they're thinking he's a mamzer or they're saying it, it's the same thing.
The same thing, yes.
You
That's
know,
There's
what
no-
I
there's
think.
another,
I see.
You
Very
know-
good, very good. In other words, they
There's
don't
no-
say it, but they
There's-
think it, and that's enough to set him off.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no
okay,
communication.
okay.
There's no
Okay.
communication between the Moisheke and the children, but there's
Yeah.
this feeling of antagonism between them.
And it doesn't
Thank you.
matter, if they don't even express it verbally, he knows they're thinking it, and that's
He
enough
knows-
to set him off. Very
That's
good.
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now I understand.
Just-
Okay.
Okay, Nechama, you want to read?
Fine. Thank you.
Okay,
Oi, oi.
thank you, Yankel. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Liegen macht der geschlagene Jüngele große Augen. Ich hab gar nicht gesagt. This proves what you were saying. No. Now the child who didn't say anything, he was just walking by and who was attacked by Moisheke says, no, this is a lie, says the beaten child's large eyes. I didn't say anything. Es helft niet. Stere gleibt Moisheken mehr wie de fremde Jüngler. It doesn't help this child to say anything. Stere believes Moisheke more than the strange or the other children. haben sich geprovet, zusammennehmen etlicher geschlagener Jüngerlach in ein Kompanie. So what they decided to do, they just decided to band together several beaten children in one battalion, one group, so to speak. Shlomike Pupik, we've met him before, is gewein der Anführer. So Shlomke Pupik, he was the leader. Bei Kompanie ist man befallen dem kleinen Zlidnik, and the group fell on this little pesky animal. That's what he's being called.
Okay.
No, Moisheke is a brand ayatel, but our little Moisheke is one little blazing little boy. Schlägt sich wie a ruach. He hits like he's a wind. Is that wind? It's wind.
Spirit.
I guess it's sort of like a power, a force.
Mm.
Habt Klepp und tritt nicht ab. He takes the hits, but he doesn't step away. Wenn der abgeschmalter Flocken wird ihm rausgerissen von der Hand, bricket sich und beißt sich wie ein Wilder. And when this little broken stick that he was using as his weapon gets taken out of his hand, he becomes stubborn and he bites them like a little wild one.
Yeah.
Die bei-
Did you say briquet? What it is?
Excuse me?
Dicke.
Bricket, he becomes stubborn. He
No, briquet is kick.
He
He
kicks.
kicks them.
He kicks them. He kicks
Yeah.
them and bites them
And
like a
bites them.
wild one. I thought it
Yeah,
was stubborn.
uh-huh.
Very good. He really reacts in a very violent way.
Yeah.
Befale schneiden mios op. I don't know what that means. The
Mies, that's Mies.
mias.
Schneiden Mies up. Die befallen is schneiden Mies up.
They're
The boys that are hurt are Mies. It's a word that's not nice. It doesn't look well.
Right, the attackers.
the attackers are help me with it. The attackers are they cut themselves. Mias is like ugly. They cut
Yes.
them. They cut themselves in an ugly way.
Or they become cut, they get injured.
They get ugly. Schneiden mius up. They get ugly. Mit
Ja.
gedrapete Näsel entläuft man und mit zerbissene Finger. So with scratched noses, they run, and with bitten fingers, because he was biting them and hitting them.
I
Yeah.
think this Zedrapata with streaming noses.
With streaming noses, it's not with, I thought it was scratches.
Yeah, I found in the dictionary scratched.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, one way or the other, they're like a little beaten up crew.
Yes.
And they
Is
deserve it.
Is geworden nicht auszuhalten von Kiva's Holdunik. It became impossible to cope with Kiva's little Holdulnik, a word we have never found the
They-
translation for.
The
They used to
foundling.
call it Holdopnik. It's the same
Holdolnik.
thing. Holdulnik.
Holdulnik. What would you translate it as her little bundle of joy? Her responsibility?
I understand it as his foundling.
Foundling, all right, her Holdulnik. Mamas und Tatens haben sich genommen reinmischen in der Schlägereien. So the mothers and the fathers decided that they were going to become involved in this brawling scene here. Yidnim in Falstelle,
For stylists in.
Versteilen.
Faceles.
Faceles.
with
Yeah.
shawls,
Right.
haben genommen Läufen mit Rogezel zu Kieven in Heus. Women with scarves,
Bandanas.
bandanas,
yeah.
scarves, schmattes, started to run with anger to Kiva in the house. Bloya verschäumte Lippen haben gewohnt. Blue verschäumte, schäum is it, that's not dusty. I don't know what verschäumte.
Foamy,
Say again,
foam.
Yes.
sober?
foam.
Foaming,
Foaming.
that's right. Foaming lips warned. Halt ein Eier Tachshit,
Tachshit.
Vorim, hold your little jewel here because Stere weist sehr gut, was die Zerreiz der Jiden ist, haben nicht der sagt. Stere knows very, very well what these angry women didn't say. Glusten hab sich sie geglust, herauszuschreien, Eier Mamsel, sie haben noch Pachad vor ihrer flackendicker Augen, vor ihrer Nägel. They would really like to scream out, your Mamser, but they had fear for her flackendicker Augen, for her like
Flaming, I think.
her flaming eyes and her nails. Los die derfall ois zu sehr baltiltige Kep dem ganzen Zorn, was hat sich bei ihr angesammelt, sinds mir hat ihr Holdulnik rausgetrieben von Cheder zu lieb die koschere Kinderlach. Well, now it's getting very, very frothy here. So she lets out to their covered heads all of her rage, her tzorin that had built up since her foundling was driven out from the cheder because of the kosher children. Halt besser ein eure eigener Antiklech, was denn schweigen wird sei, mein Moschekin. Hold back, she's now speaking to these women, hold back your little jewels there, your little darlings, your little coddled eggs. And then my Mosheke will be quiet.
No,
And now
no,
at
it's not,
last-
no, so what else do you, should he keep quiet, my Moshke?
Was
What
denn?
el-
Aha.
What else should he do?
What else should he do? my little Mosheke?
What do you expect, Yidenes?
Yeah, your little.
He
you know,
should
your
keep
little
quiet.
bouchon.
He's hitting back.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Just when we think that Schnorr has led us through such difficulties, he gives us here at least as I read it, a little moment of pleasure, of joy. De einzige Jingele in Zavelnik, mit welchen Moisheken lebt noch besholem, is Donke de Yossem, Vigdor de Valsoches Jingele. The only child in Zavelnik that Moisheke lives in a peaceful way is Donka, the orphan. Vigdor, the timber merchant's little boy. Lernt Donka in an ander cheder by a leitischen Rabin, auf der Schulgas, nicht bei Epis a Yidlik, wie Herschel de Melamed is in Eigen and Zavulnik. So we remember that that's the reason actually that Moisheke was admitted to the cheder there, because this little boy learns in a different cheder, in a more leitischen, with a respectful rabbi, in the Shulgas, knit by this Yiddle there, Herschel, the Melamed, in our little own Zavulnik. He's been sent away to a better cheder. Reb Vigdor had thereby.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
This word Yidlik,
Yeah.
it's a pejorative word.
Ah,
It's this wretched Jew.
So
It's,
is the suffix lik? It's like it has the sense of a pejorative sense, like yidlik
Yeah.
or a vibrant. It could be used in a lot of with different words as well. Very nice.
Right, yeah.
Reb Vigdor hat derbei gehad sein besonder Kavane euch. Reb Kavone, yes. Reb Vigdor therefore had another purpose filled. Was weiter zu halten sein Donkin from Kiva's Holdulnik. On this page, we've read that word 3 times. Was men weiß nicht, von welcher Mist kommt schneid sich schon Kleinerheit auf Geneva. And I want to start from the beginning. He had this other purpose, how much he could keep his little donka from Kiva's foundling, where we don't know from what garbage he comes from. Well, yeah, from what garbage he comes from. And already in his childhood was involved in thievery. Ot, the mushel, das silberne Leichtere, was mir hat bei Kieven gefunden, unterin kommen. And for example, the silver lights, candlesticks, which were found under Kiva's
Cupboard.
case. Say again?
Cupboard.
Cupboard. Aber vor Nacht, wenn Donker kommt heim von sein mechusedicken Cheder,
Mejuchasdicken.
mechusedicken Cheder, und von sein jechusedicken Rabin, habt ob Wetschere und guckt sich herum. That's okay. Wie an eingeschlossener Welwecher. But after, just before night, when Donka comes home from his, not respectable, it's stronger than that, from his classy, his classy cheder with his classy rabbi, he grabs his meal there, and he looks around like a little, now, ein Schlossener, I would think would mean like a little enclosed animal, like a little,
That's
Yeah,
exactly
a
what
locked
it
up
says.
wolf, I see.
again,
Yes, a little wolf.
a little enclosed
A
wolf.
locked up wolf.
A locked up
Yes,
wolf.
yes.
Yeah.
This is such a beautiful description, what goes on.
Yeah.
Ein Minute gelehrt von abschweicheter Hashgacha one little second of not being watched over, of not being controlled, und Donke gan wird sich heraus von sein Stubekerl Gefängnis und läuft zum Moschekin. So when there's 1 minute, when he has 1 minute, when he's not being controlled, and he puts himself out, he steals himself out from his house. Now, Gefängnis, does that mean dependence or what?
I think it means location. He's playing with the word gefunden. It's his place, his location.
His
Yes,
location,
in the
his
house.
his
Wo
house.
befindet ihr sich? It's where are you?
Okay, very good. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's not, I thought, okay.
Yeah.
And he runs out to Moishekin. For
Okay,
Moishekin,
Gan always, can I say something? I thought it sneaks out. No?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
he
same
steals
thing.
himself out, he goes out, he runs out. For Moishekes Mutigkeit and Gewura fällt noch herab bis zum heutigen Tag. For Moishekes courage and bravery, he feels such, he fällt noch herab, he falls down, or he's in awe
I would
of.
say he admires.
Yeah, he's in awe of, he admires
Yeah.
to this day. Schenkt Moishekin Kneplach, Naya Pennes. He treats him, he gives him gifts of buttons and new pens. And Moisheke ihm, frischen Lecker, ungeprägelte Kecklach, Rojinkes, eingetunkelt in Munn. Oh, sounds delicious. And Moisheke returns the favor. He gives him fresh little cakes and fried cakes or raisins that have been dipped in poppy seed.
Right.
What a scene. What a scene. After all of this misery, finally something very beautiful.
Yeah.
Beide behalten sich irgendwo in a Winkele zwischen der Kreuzgärtner. And these two little boys hide themselves somewhere in a little corner in the cabbage garden. In Ecksalvelik und spielen sich zusammen. In this corner, in this Eckwelt, Zavelnik, and they play together. Es trefft aber, als in rechten Mitten spielen, stellt Moishekin on auf sein Chaverl seine Bläue vor schneidiger Augen. But in the middle, it happens that in the middle of this playing, Moisheke looks at his friend, seine friend Bloya, his blue, verschnittige Augen.
Searching eyes.
Danke, macht du hast von mir kein Meure nicht. Danke, he says, you're not afraid of me? Nein, guckt ihm Danke an, verwundert. Was soll ich Meure haben? No, I don't have any fear. Why should I be afraid of you? Ich slog sich, macht Moisheke, upon him full arotzeach. No, now is he saying I slug, I hit?
Yeah.
I hit. Moisheke says, and his face is full with rotzeach.
Like a murderer.
Like a murderer. No, euch Donken macht das kein Schum Eindruck nicht. But this doesn't make any impression on little Donka. You know, Donka's grown up a lot since he was that little scared little boy. He isn't that way anymore. Remember, he was a scared little boy.
I love donkey.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, we love them. We love them. Like I said, after all the misery, he gives us a moment of pleasure. He
Yes.
because
He's
we
a
were
sweet
so
child.
hinged. We see two children playing together, sharing gifts.
Yeah.
Mich schlagst du noch nicht. You, but me, you don't hit me. Okay, maybe somebody else should read. We have Golda
Okay.
too. It's lovely, just lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruchale, you want to read?
Okay.
Second line,
Huh?
the second line, say wie ich bin.
Jo, ich
Traffic.
muss. No, etwas hat mir herausgespringen von der Computer, aber gehört mir nach Rasch, so von dem habe ich nicht angefangen zu lesen. Okay, sehr wie ich bin zerdrappet, schreckt die Mäuscheke. Das haben mich eigentlich geschlagen. Oh, da, auf den Hals, auf den Schleif euch. Look how scratched I am. Scares him Moisheke. This is from how the children beat me up, they hit me. Here on the neck and often, I forgot what is life.
Temple.
Oh,
Temple?
Temple.
Temple.
Yeah.
Will damit stellen, dankes Freundschaft auf a Prove, wie is an emse grindliche. He wants by this to put dankes friendship on a Prove.
Traffic
For a
is-
test.
Yeah,
The test, okay.
Mhm, yeah.
To
Yeah,
see if it's true, if it's really true grindliche.
I found Grindliche deep. If the friendship is really real and deep, he
Do you think
wants to
that's
know if
related
it's
to the
real.
word Grunt? Do you think that's related to the word Grund foundation? That grindlicher, that
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's connected, yeah. Okay, Rochelle, go on.
Aber Danke schreckt sich nicht, but Danke doesn't get scared. Adraba, the opposite. Bewundert Moishekes koyach, Moishekes mood. He admires Moishekes strength and courage. Mit wie viel
Yes.
Jünglich hast du sich geschlagen? With how many children did you fight? Mit 4, with 4. Alle von Hirschels Cheder, all of them from the Cheder von Hirschel. Auf einmal, all at once, auf einmal, all at once. Moisheke, du bist gesund wie mein Tate. Moisheke, you are as healthy as my father.
Strong.
Herr, das Wort Tate wird Moisheke ein Weilinke.
Weilinke. One moment.
So
A
Moshe,
Weilinke.
yeah. So Moshe hears the word Tate, father, and he at once becomes quiet.
For a while.
For a moment.
For a moment, yeah.
Yeah, for a moment he quietens down and he thinks.
Ja. Tracht, danach kommt der höchste Stapel von Offenherzigkeit und Wornisch. Du weißt, Danke, ich bin doch ein Mamser. He thinks after that comes the highest step from opening the heart and Wornisch.
Warning.
Warning is
I'm
warning. Warning.
Wornisch. Yeah, I didn't read it right. Okay.
Okay.
Wonder, yeah. Du weißt, Danke, do you know, Danke? I am Mamzer. Donke bleibt sitzen zertummelter. Donke sits down confused und Moshe kes halt ihm ein warning. And Moshe continues to warn him. My tata is a vetter and my mama is a mume. My father is an uncle and my mother is an aunt. Aber Donke nimmt him bald Treisten. But Donke begins right away to Treisten,
Comfort,
Cheer him up.
cheer him up.
comfort
Comfort.
him.
To comfort him.
No, huh?
To
Cheer
comfort
him
was
up,
him.
comfort,
us.
okay.
Okay. Nu is was. She's garnish. No, so what? It is nothing. Ich will sich mit dir allemal spielen, Moscheke. Weißt sehen. Weißt sehen. Na dir noch a neue Penne. It's nothing. I will always play with you, Moscheke. You'll see. Here, take a new pen, another new pen. Donke tut es mit Asa Hitz und mit Asa warmem Glanz in die Augen, als Moshe ken verdrießt schon, wo hat sein edlen Chavel also getun. Danke, does it with such a warmth and such a, no, heat is heat, but I don't know how to put it here.
Look, the eyes.
With, huh? With such a warm look, glance at him in the eyes that Moshe,
Verdrießt.
he's already regretting
gets-
that he get bothered, that it bothers him that his
Yes.
good friend that he
Yeah,
did it
he
with-
regrets, Fabrice,
Yes.
that he
verdrießt,
regrets
fine.
that he caused his friend such pain.
Ja. Ihm durch sich, als hat ihm Okorscht gestorben mit seinen Wörtern, wie stecht oftmal a verteilten Jukel, כדי zu sehen, ob lebt oder nicht. It seems to him that he stabbed, Okorscht, I'm not sure.
Stochen. Sein,
I
Just
know what
now,
is gestochen was Okorscht. Okorscht.
of course.
sein,
You know, there are
Yes.
two words. There's one with an aleph and one with an ayin. We had this word, we talked about this earlier. Is that here, I think it means that now that he now
Okay.
bothered his
Stabbed.
friend with his word.
Yeah, that he stabbed his friend with his words, like he sometimes stabs a joke.
A cockroach.
Cockroach, thank you.
Cockroach.
To see if he's alive or not. What is verteidigen?
Hidden,
A what?
hidden,
hidden.
hidden. Something that has been hidden away.
Oh, like the Afikoman. Und כדי zu verglätten dem schlechten Eindruck, habt es ihm und für Darinker Pleitzke. Tomer, wenn dich jünglich wollen slogan, sag mir. Du hörst, Donke, sag mir. Ich will to straighten out the bad thing that he said, he
Impression.
holds him, grabs him by his thin shoulder. If the kids will want to beat you up, let me know, tell me. You hear, Donkey? Tell me. I will Norgrod in Recht
the word- Excuse me for 1 minute. The word slogan and
Hit.
it's
Hit.
slogan, isn't it? It's to hit.
Hit.
Yeah, I think it's a childish way of talking. Sometimes children say. ta, ta,
Yeah,
ta,
it doesn't
ta,
say
ta,
the
ta.
shin yet correctly.
Okay.
It
That's-
doesn't say the shin
Yeah.
yet properly.
I thought it was a Litvak thing or a.
It's a,
Yeah, that could,
Sabbath-
yeah,
So
that,
the Chava, I think that
Sabbath
if so, then
Lawson.
everyone is born first a Litvaker, you know?
yeah, it's Sabbath-Sticker-Lossen.
Yeah. I thought it was a Litvak thing. Okay.
yeah, I know.
Right,
I
You,
think
you,
it's
did
child
you
thing.
ever hear this? In the Sisele swimta fisele. It's
Ah.
Yeah.
in the Sisele swimta officially, in the Sisele swimta fisele.
Yeah.
The Litvish.
I know it because I'm a Litvan. So,
So it's Sira Marceli Schleimer.
But he was
I don't think it's a Litvikish
Belarus.
thing here. I think it's a
In
childish
Belarus.
way of talking. What?
in Belarus. Did they also speak?
It could be, but why stop?
all right, but
Yes.
I think here it's a childish way of talking.
Yeah,
Okay, go on.
Norgrod in rechten mitten von dieser Idylle schaut auf, כמעט allemal schaut auf ein nicht guter Kohl von Donkes Stub. And God, I forgot the word, I know it. Despite, in the midst,
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
exactly. In that, yeah.
Moment.
The God is
Right,
exactly just then.
Just then.
Just
Yeah,
then. Yeah.
right with such an ideal shout off, peels off.
There comes out a sound. Shout. A sound comes out. That's the shout off.
But Alamo.
Almost
a
every
sound.
time,
It
a sound of-
sounds.
yeah, of not
That
such a
is
good-
a sound. They are. And this is the verb for this, but it refers to the word call that comes underneath. I need good call. A
Yes.
call sounds. A voice sounds. It's like a call. A call shout off. Okay. The verb here is it comes in the
sound
sentence
from
before.
Duncan's house, that's not a good sound, comes out.
That's what I
Mensuchtim.
found. That's what I found in the dictionary. I don't know this word.
They're looking for him, Mensuchtim.
not a very good voice from Donke's house. Men sucht ihn, they look for him. Man ist heuschet, als spielt sich irgendwo mit dem nicht anständigen Schochendel von gegenüber. Donke, wo bist du, ah?
You have to
Ich bin
raise him.
du, wer Donke a verzappelter. So they are suspicious that he plays somewhere with this the neighbor that is nicht anständig.
Anständig, he's not reliable.
Yeah, is it not decent?
not decent.
Golda, anständig is decent. Isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
not
Yeah.
decent.
Anständig is not decent.
Uh,
Anständig is decent. Anständig is decent. And this is
Yeah.
Anständig is decent, honest.
ehrlich. An ehrlich.
from across. Duncan Doko, where are you, huh? I'm here. Duncan becomes verzappelter.
Startled.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rochale. Golda,
In Stube rein. Come in. Danke geht weg mit Dribne wackeldicke, trittelig, die gepentete, loschek, was is verkrochen in Hezek. He goes away with, could you help me with that, Yankiv? With that sentence, please?
Yeah, the dribna are small wavering steps. Dribna wokkeldike trittelig.
Yeah,
He's-
gepentete, loschek.
It's hard for him to drag himself away from Meshach. So he's
What is Dribne?
Dribna,
Small.
does that mean little things like
tiny,
tiny?
wavering steps.
Okay, dribbe, I think it's a Polish word, yeah. Dribne, mhm.
Yeah. And like a chained up foal, a loshik is a foal. Was is verkrochen in Hezek, who this little foal, chained up foal hiding in, I couldn't find the word Hezek, in a stall perhaps?
Yeah.
Hezek is
Isaac.
Hezek, something bad. Hezek is like from Nezek,
Oh,
something
yes?
that hurts you, something that's bad. They call this verkrochen in Hezek, maybe maybe in mud or in
Yeah.
horse shit. Excuse my expression. Something
Mm,
that's
Okay.
some kind of a trap.
mm.
Geht
Okay.
daheim und guckt sich alle Weile auf hinten. He goes home and he constantly looks behind him. Mit dem Guck bett sich bei Moschiken, soll ihm das nicht nehmen, war gut. With his look, he hopes that Moshike won't take that for a no good look. Zet doch, ken it anders. He sees that it can't be any other way. Die Hungerige, welche gab da rein ein bisschen in Meul und mir reißt immer raus zurück. Like somebody that's really hungry and that grabs something, a bite in his mouth, and they tear it away from him. Also der fühlt sich Moshike in sein dunklen Winkele. That's how Moshike feels in his dark corner. Wenn man rückt weg von ihm sein einzigen übergegebenen Chaverl, when they call his one and only devoted friend, sein kindersche Verbittertheit lässt euch zu Kiewen sein Delcia und zu sterben. His childish disappointment or anger, he releases to Kiva, the one who is raising him, and zu sterben. Sei nicht emesse Mama, he's not true mother. Der 7-Jährige, he, the 7-year-old, als kommt im Sind euch sich wenden zu Kiewen inmitten lernen Ivre. So, he, the 7-year-old, as he has to come to Kiva, to Kievan in the middle of his learning Hebrew. Made der Reis das Wort Tate. He made the Reis, he describes
He
for him.
avoids. He
He
avoids.
avoids,
Oh, he
meiden.
avoids the word father. Dutzt ihm afilin it. He doesn't even honor him. Sagt zu ihm ihr. Und sterben ruft nicht Mama und nicht Mama, no Mum. Es ist eine Halbstimme zwischen Wort. It's a half silent in between word. As shum, as habis.
Is chivers, that's no obligation.
Okay, no obligation for Moshe's side.
He
Moshe's side.
does not treat them as his parents. He doesn't show that kind of relationship.
Or honor, I think. Aber was sagt beide Sachen und sagt gar nicht. Aber Steres Augen.
Excuse me, can I ask, what dutzt ihm afilu geht? Nicht.
He
When
doesn't.
he-
Dutzen,
When you can say ear,
Right,
but if you're friendly with somebody,
you would say do.
call them do.
So it's like
That's
he
the
doesn't
difference.
even treat him to the warmth of that word.
Exactly. Right.
hmm,
Uh,
There's no intimacy here.
yeah.
There's no.
So there are two ways that you can say this. You can say Irvin and Dudevin. That's to use the word ear when you speak to somebody and use the word do. But you can also say dutzen und irzen.
yeah,
It's just
Yeah.
two ways of saying the same thing.
yes.
But it means how you address a person. It's how you, like if I were to address Golda and not say do, like she's not my friend, she's not, I don't feel close with her. Chas v'chalila.
Chas v'chalila is right.
We
Yes,
learned
and-
about that word just a few weeks ago. It's a very interesting word.
Aber Steres Euer ist scharf. Der stumme Mumm verschafft ihr Harzweitet. But Steres ear is very sharp. And the silent mum gives her a lot of heartache. Nach so viel Jahren an Kinder, der schlagen sich ein Kind, soll sie rufen Mama. Und wird das ihr wieder einmal aus von die Hand. So many years without children and being hurt without children, not having children. And now a child does not call her mama. And rinnt das ihr wieder einmal aus von die Hand. And even that is dragged out of her hand, the mama. Shake it, die Delpha, Michigan ice. So shine weiter, Mum. Was für ein Wort ist Mum? Wie viel Mal habe ich dir gesagt, Michigan fight. So she calls out to him, again, you're calling me a shine weiter again, Mum? What kind of word is Mum? How many times did I tell you Mashik is fight? But Mashik is silent. Ich red doch etwas mit dir. Besser sich sterben. I'm saying something to you. She gets angry. Mashik lässt tiefer herab dem Kopf und schweigt. Mashik rests his head deeper and he's silent. Der Mann sich stärke, she reminds herself, als der Erste, welcher hat in Moschekes Meier eingepflanzt, als Begriff ist gewesen hier schon der Dort ki melamed.
Dardake Melamed. That's
So she
Melamed of little
reminds-
children.
She reminds herself that the first one who told Mashike and eingeflammt and brought that to his attention was Hirschel, the Melamed of young children. Lass sie zu ihm aus das Herz unter die Augen. She lets out her heart through her eyes. Die Zunge hat ihm gemerkt abdagen. His tongue was allowed to get abdagen, to get thinner. Dem klugen Reben deinem. She's speaking sarcastically. You're a smart teacher. When Kiva, as lernt einer allein mit Maishiken, Tereserim, and Kiva, when he teaches him alone, he soothes him and embraces him, Teresim. Hab kein Sonnet. Don't worry about anything, Maishike. Kein Scheinifre besser wie alle Hirschels Talmidim left. Don't worry, Maisha. You know Hebrew better than all of Herschel's students. Von Sterres, Klulles, und von Kiepes, Schatzung, sie blieb sich a tiefes Sinne in Maishike's Herzl. And from Sterres curses and Kiepes gering Schatzung,
encouragement.
hold on for one moment. Ignore that.
Encouragement.
Kiva's gering Schatzung.
Encouragement.
A deep Sina is not anger, but
Hatred.
yeah, hatred, right? Is Moshe in Moshe's heart. Euch ihn hebt sich an zu duchten. Also, he begins to think, as Herschel, der Melamed is schuldig in alles. And then he realizes in a deep way that the Melamed Herschel is responsible for everything. Gedenkt noch sehr gut, he remembers very well, as Herschel, as the Melamed hat sich für ihn nicht genug eingestellt, that Herschel really didn't defend him enough. Herschel is a völlig Gewinn zufrieden. And the rabbi, the Melamed, was even satisfied and happy. Was Mahatim, the Mamsa, Sof Kol Sof, weggenommen von Cheder. He was really happy when they took him away at the very end from the Cheder. Lecht Maishike, Suzanne Anekama, on sein gewessenem Reben. So at the end, he thinks that there will be a revenge on his one-time Melamed. In Gaul in Gierchen, hat der Razane komme der and suddenly he was able to live to see this revenge.
Mhm.
You have to raise it.
Can you imagine if you were the reader in the four of
Thank
us?
you, Goldale.
And you come to the
Angela
end of that
Parnassa.
section, you can't wait for the next installment to come. I mean,
Yes,
it's,
but Rachel did.
This is, I got the best chapter unintentionally.
Okay. It's your
This
turn,
chapter,
Rachel.
this an Edele Parnose. Now it takes us to a completely different scene.
yeah,
But you know, I want to go back to the social criticism we were talking about. We saw so many tragic scenes that make us think of social criticism that he wants to present. But now in this chapter, he presents his social criticism with humor. It's a very comic chapter.
Okay, so read it.
Yeah, I'm going to. An edele parnose, a gentle way of making a living.
right.
Okay. In Gichen, noch een, let me take off my glasses. In Gichen, noch een Arois treiben Moischike Mamser von Cheder, hat sich Herschel der Melamed verglust haben nachts von sein einziger Tochter. Quite soon after he threw Moischike, the bastard, out of
Moshe
his
Kamanzer,
cheder,
that's his
of his
name now.
school.
It's one word. It's become one word.
Yeah, okay.
It's not, it's Moshe.
Herschel, the Melamed felt like deriving some pleasure out of his one and only daughter, Dobe hat sie geheißen. She was called Dobe. Warum die sind seinen schon lang entlaufen from Friesiv, weg in Amerika und Mechalel Shabbos gewesen in der Fremd.
Mhm.
Because his sons already had long ago run away from the service, from the military service, from the draft. And so they went to America, and now they already were violating Shabbos while being away, while being in a strange country, in a foreign country. Geschrieben haben sie ihm sehr selten. They were writing to him very infrequently. So now he really didn't have much communication with them. Now he was hoping to get some pleasure out of his daughter. Und so, und sie als solche Bonin will noch ihm sagen Kaddish. Noch 120 Jahre ist Reb Herschel gewesen stark mesuppak. Reb Herschel very much doubted, is doubted whether such sons who are already violating Shabbos and are not writing to him very often, whether they'll even say Kaddish after him after 120 years. That's after he leaves this earth. Hat ihm der Pfarr angenommen, glustenisch reinzunehmen in Stub. This is an edlen Edim und so herum besorgen sich mit der gute Olam Haba, Bezeitens. So he felt like taking into his house a gentle son-in-law, and that way to ensure, so an insurance policy, to ensure his next world, a good
World to come,
afterlife
right?
in time. That
Entschuldigung,
means
wusste nicht,
in time,
it's,
that's
it
when
felt
his
like,
time comes. So what does he
Wusste nicht,
do
when it
to
felt
get
like,
a gentle son-in-law? Ist weg in der größeren Yeshiva, in alten Besmedrash auf der Schulgas, und ausgeklebt sich a Bocher a Tachshit. So he went to the big yeshiva, which is in the old, in an old school, and he selected a guy, a Tachshit. Here, Tachshit is in a serious way. It's not like they said about Moshe, a Tachshit, you know. A Tachshit
They
now,
said-
that's really
right.
something dear, something good. So he selected a guy, a piece of a jewel, a Kalech Biken Yosen. So you don't have to talk to his parents because he is an orphan on both. He's orphaned by his mother's death and his father's death. A stille Zach, a quiet thing. This is amazing. He describes him as a thing, a quiet thing. Was guckt mit treuerige Augen und scheppert nicht kein Flieg auf der Wand. He describes him as a nebuchal. He looks with sad eyes, and it doesn't even hurt a fly on the wall. Und schlägt ständig sein eigenem Gurgel on. And he always swallows his own, this thing that you have in the throat. I don't know what you call it. In English,
Adam's
maybe
apple.
you can help me.
The Adam's apple.
The what?
Adam's apple, they call it.
And okay, thank you. Und kann ihm nicht heraufschlingen. He tries to swallow it and he can't do that. A viele sein Nomen Suske hat sich sehr gepasst zu sein Unbehelfenkeit. So he's kind of Unbehelfenkeit is helplessness. He's a kind of a helpless guy. And even his name Zuske is suitable to his, matches his helplessness. I don't understand why
Why
Zuske,
does Zuska have to do with his being helpless?
I don't understand why Zuske matches
Helpless person.
helplessness. Maybe somebody can help me.
They said that that the name matched his personality.
But
Okay.
why? What is Zuska?
So what is Zuske? Yeah.
This
Um,
guy
It comes
tweaked
from-
We'll find out as we continue.
No, I don't
Okay.
think we'll find that out, but I don't understand why that name.
Okay.
It's-
All right.
It comes from this. So
This,
Zuska
Yeah,
is
okay.
someone
Juske.
sweet,
Okay. So now,
ineffectual.
Mit dem
mit dem
Koyach.
Koyach, was der Rosh Yeshiva hat ihm gegeben, hat shel dem Melamed gesagt zu Zuske na zoi zu sagen. Okay, so now the Melamed goes to the Rosh Yeshiva and he talks to him about it. So the Rosh Yeshiva gives him encouragement. So now with this encouragement, Herschel goes to Zuske, and he says to him, Du wirst mir zu schön werden, mein Edem. You with God's help, you, God willing, will become my son-in-law, and that's how it became. Also ist Suske geboren mit Masel, der Chosen von Herschels Tochter. Von Herschels Tochter, von oder Grobphysiker, Groblebsendiker Dobbe, was hilft der Mammen in der Brotbäckerei und ist ständig angepudert mit Mehl wie die Mame und ist verältert wie die Mame. And that's how Suske became with muzzle, with luck, with good luck, the son-in-law of Herschel's,
No,
of
the
the son,
bridegroom,
the
the bridegroom, the
no,
chassan.
the groom of Herschel's daughter. And now the description of the daughter,
Ah,
a heavy one, grob physical, when with heavy fat lips, and then whose name is Dobe, who helps her mother in baking bread, and she's always covered with flour, as like the mother, and she's also already, she looks,
Older.
she's aging, she's already aged like her mother. She's young, but she's already
I don't know
aged
whether-
like her mother.
She's not a youngster anymore.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, she could, right, she could be
Real Miss
an old
America.
maid.
But there
Right.
used to be Miss America. It's not
For
politically.
Elted is for Elted, it's like maybe she looks older than she is.
I think
Exactly.
so.
That's what it means.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. Aber ein junger Mann, wie Gerotner soll nicht sein, this is amazing. Muss doch haben a Parnasse in die Hand euch. But a young man, regardless of how talented he is, he has to have a way to make a living. He has to have some vocation. Hat sich Herschel der Yasher gewinnt mit Rosh Yeshiva und es ist geblieben, man soll Susken machen für a Scheuchet. So Herschel is consulting with the Rosh Yeshiva, with the head of the yeshiva, and they decided that they will make Zuse a shochet, a ritual slaughterer. So it's not Zuske that decides about his profession, but these two people. So they decided about a wife for him, and they decided about his a profession for him.
Without
it's easy work and a respectable one. Es ist geringer zu kriegen für Smiche wie Afro. And also it's easier to get Smicha, to get
License.
Smicha is there's a word in English.
I know,
Okay,
but we
license.
can use
It's
license.
easier to get license as a ritual slaughterer than it is to get a
rabbi.
license as a rabbi. A rabbi has to study more longer. Glusten hat sich a viele Reb Herschlen geglust, der Edim Seiner soll weiter lernen Torah. He really felt that his son-in-law should continue studying Torah more than just in order to become a slaughterer. He wanted him to become a rabbi.
Should continue.
No, the Rosh Yeshiva hat him abgerät, but the Rosh Yeshiva talked him out of it, out of having him study that much. Wo macht oder so melamed koyach, euch zu halten, so lang an Edem mit Käst, bis wird sich der Schlogen zu Rov? How can, and why is the Rosh Hashiva talking him out of that? Because how can a melamed have the ability to maintain a son-in-law for such a long time until he becomes a rabbi? You only a melamed, you can't keep a son-in-law that long. Therefore, is a Sach gleicher, der junge Mann soll sich ein bisschen verproben noch der Chassen. This is, it's a lot better that the young man should verproben would recuperate after the wedding, because he's so skinny and so run down. So it's good that he would recuperate after the wedding. He'll feed himself a little bit. He'll rest a little. Warum leit ata is a film never chatzar bal chaim zu gucken, because now, for now, is he has a nebach dicker look. He looks. It's tzar bal chaim. It's like somebody who he looks pitiful.
Pity on a living item, pity on a living thing. He's pitiful. Pitiful.
Let ata is a nora alber nefesh. For now, he's like a half a being. It's as if he's a half a being. That's how he looks. Hoyt und beiner und a gogel. Skin
God.
and bones
And
and a throat.
And an Adam's apple.
Adam's apple.
Picture this
right.
young man with the wife, with Dubba there. What a
The
couple.
Dobby is heavy.
Jack Sprat.
Yeah, so now these two עוד noch der Chassen mir zu Shem, as wird sich verproben. Also, after the wedding, God willing, after he recuperates a little bit, that's what is gonna happen. He'll become a slaughterer.
Thank you, friends. It was lovely.